Hi, I'm Art Kirsch here with my partner, John Coleman.
Hi.
And we were sitting down talking about our production meetings that we have once a week. We've been working together for 3 or 4 years
And we
now.
hold them in a very special, our corporate offices.
Yes, our headquarters. I think
Headquarters, yeah.
you refer to them as Starbucks on Marguerite and near Avery in Mission Viejo. And one day we were discussing, among other things, our projects that we're working on, various things, either finance or health or some other kind of issues that were of interest to us. And we wondered,
Why? Not why not, but why?
right,
Why aren't the people that are our age and older being served by the media?
exactly, people who are chatting like we are every day.
Right.
And
Right.
we'd love to have some of those conversations to hear them from other people in an entertaining way, as opposed to going to the internet and researching things. And it's
Sure.
all very valuable, but it's not like The View or something like that, which is
Right.
entertaining, but something geared towards our 50 and above age.
Sure. And let's face it, our generation, the baby boomers and beyond, anybody over 50 pretty much has been ignored by the media. I guess it's not a big commercial
Yeah, and
demographic.
and we're living longer and healthier and doing more things to a much later. My grandparents and parents were dying in their 50s and 60s.
Sure.
My parents happened to live till they were 70s and 80s.
Right. And now you're going to live to the point where your kids are going to need to take care of you in your 80s and 90s.
Well, I have a 30-year rolling plan, so I'm going to go beyond that. But yes, for most people, it's going to be into their
Yeah.
80s and 90s.
So there's multiple generations that are now over 50. We're baby boomers. And while they're, what's the next generation?
Gen
Generation
X.
X?
Yeah.
They're turning 50 every day.
Right. So there are about 79 million, as a few years ago, baby boomers. Forget
Yeah.
about the people even older than that. And about 40 some odd million Gen Xs, which is a larger group
Right.
than baby boomers. And about 2 million of them are turning 50 every day.
Isn't that amazing?
Every year.
Every year,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, and don't forget, there's what's the generation ahead of the baby boomers, the greatest generation, whatever you call
Yeah.
them. The
They're all in their 80s
World
and
War
90s,
II
sure.
generation, and then there's plenty of people around that are older than that.
Yeah.
So the over 50 crowd is a pretty big group, and they've got diverse interests. I mean, let's face it. If you're 80, your health issues are different than your health issues at 50 or 60. But also, maybe your activities are the same. People are going on cruises. We had a group around here, our neighborhood group, 20 or 30 people got together and booked a cruise in, I guess it was to Europe. And they did 20 days in Europe. So, there's lots of people who are interested in cruising. There's a lot of common denominators, I think, for people over 50.
And also, we're always discussing things like I just got back in touch after years with some college buddies who are, some of them are now into their 70s, and we were not exactly the most serious people in the world. We were, if not party animals, we were certainly not the most serious students of the world.
Well, you were animals, I can
Well,
guarantee
we
you
were,
that, yeah.
well, we claimed that we were the forerunner of Animal House, like everybody else of our age might do. But they're climbing mountains, and some of them have new knees. We're constantly running into people inventing really significant businesses into their 50s and
Yep,
60s,
yep.
and doing all sorts of things. Also having questions about how am I going to make my money last, because we're going to live to our
Sure.
70. I
Sure.
think 79 is now the kind of age that most of us
Well,
can
look,
expect to live to.
Look, the quote retirement age of Social Security started at 62 or something like that in the 1930s. Now it's effectively 70, really. And it's going to probably rise up. And so people aren't really retiring. If they're, quote, retiring and taking their pension, they're really not doing that till close to 70 years old. But in the future, I think people are going to retire even later. More importantly, people are working. If you like what you do, some people are working for the money, but why quit? Why not just start another business like Paul Roberts and a lot of other people?
So that's what I think that's pretty much the story of how this Celebrating Act Two,
Right.
celebrating people over 50 and
Sure.
what they're doing and what's of interest to them in an entertaining way.
Well, that's how it started. It started
how it
with
started.
guys sitting around, friends sitting around, talking about life in general, and why we don't have anybody serving us in terms of media.
So we have decided that we're going to serve everybody in our world, and we're going to be doing that through Celebrating Act Two, which is both an entertainment item, my senior moment.
The word entertainment.
Yeah, an entertainment,
Well, so
and a website, a companion website, so that people can see more in-depth stories than they just get.
Well-
as you see with many of the talk shows
sure.
today.
Look. What we did is we organized. We really decided that life is very big. Life is different for whatever your age. Things are happening, and so we've kind of organized life, if you will, into 5 categories, and I can't remember them all: health and finance, and lifestyle, and entertainment, and there's something else.
Right.
But the point is, whatever age you are, if you're over 50, there's common denominators, and there's stuff you need to know, and there's people to share it with. People who want to celebrate your act two, your second act of life, your second half of your life, and celebrate their act two as well.
So I think, John, at this point, I'm going to ask our audience to send us ideas about what you'd like to see in upcoming versions of our a little chat that we're having here. We haven't figured out, was it a vlog or
I don't know what
whatever
to call it.
Whatever it is,
It's Art and John
chatting.
chatting.
So anyway, thank you for joining us. And on behalf of myself, Art Kirsch, and my partner,
John Coleman.
we thank you for visiting us and look forward to seeing you again.